deliberately hide it.
Deliberately hide it.
So we not gonna hide the truth. We gonna bring it out raw and uncut, man, as you supposed to do. And we ain't gonna care if you get offended by it. You know, you get emotional, which last week we went into that. If you a man, you ain't supposed to be getting emotional any damn way. You know, if anything, this thing is supposed to build you up. You know, you're supposed to get over. I mean, it's a lot of harsh things in this world, but you got to get over that, man.
Right.
You dudes getting crazy over the rape issue, man. It's going on damn near what, 2 years now that we've been having to, go into it and break it down, man. Without dudes getting all crazy and bent out of shape and emotional.
That was a good 2 years though, brother, because the Lord let them hang themselves with a long
Yeah, a lot
2-year
of
rope.
dudes a lot of dudes got found out with that, man. a lot of dudes got choked out.
Yeah.
Yep.
They got choked out, man.
And all the brothers that stood there and yelled, rape, 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 rape to us. Oh yeah, that was a beautiful. Lord, he don't do all things expediently. That was right on time.
And now if brothers still confront them guys, you know, whatever camp it may be, we ain't saying to do it, but if any brothers come out and you know, you get into that discourse with them, which I really feel like we shouldn't even have to do it anymore.
Well, most of
them dudes are basically they're fucking far gone.
Well, brother, the thing was, they weren't calling you rapists. This is the deal. They was only calling us rapists when we confronted them about the name of Yahweh Shai.
Right, but that's what I was going to go into.
That was their counter for the name, to call us a name.
So they ain't got to go into it.
Yeah, that was the counter.
The real reason, like, if any brothers confront them now, they don't have that same angle anymore to divert. That shit is out of there now. So if you come up and you ask them questions, they can't just turn around and ask you, oh, but aren't you guys rapists or don't you guys believe in rape? Hey, well, hold on. What you mean? We finding out that you guys are
actually doing it. Actually doing it.
We finding out y'all doing that shit, man.
Not just rape, kidnap.
So let's get that out of here. Let's not talk about that. Let's address the real questions at hand.
The Lord's name.
What's the Lord's name? That's you know what I'm saying.
Because your rape is
What's the mark of the beast? What's the Sabbath? You know.
No.
They don't want to get into that. You know that was their diversion tactic to get away from that.
Yeah.
But now y'all don't have that no more. Y'all can't.
Took that hedge.
You know?
That hedge been cut down.
Yeah,
it's gone. It's a stump now.
and now they saying that, like when you going back to the rape doctrine, when you go, because they don't like to look up words, they saying basically you going off if you don't go into the Hebrew, if you don't look the words, if you don't go into Hebrew. Well, what does studying to show thyself approved and rightly dividing the word of truth mean? Explain that. Break that down to me.
Bruh.
When it says, with all like getting, get understanding.
Get understanding.
Right?
We're not asking you to speak fluent Hebrew,
no.
But you got to know some of these words to divide the truth. Right. Period. And number one word is Egypt, that every camp uses. Every camp goes into the Greek word Egypt to describe our slavery. So you going into the other languages right there.
Hey, because if you don't go into the original language that it was written in, it doesn't have the same meaning or force. That's why Apostle Gabar brought out about the new speak. A lot of words have been changed over the course of time, man.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of words. So it's necessary that you go into the true meaning. You're supposed to break down the words, man. You read it in plain context without going into the understanding of what it's trying to say. You'll get trapped up, man.
Perfect example is Egypt.
Not just Egypt.
But I use Egypt for this example. You can't go into Deuteronomy 28, 68 without messing with Egypt.
Yeah.
And once you do that, you're going to have to explain Egypt. You're going to have to go into the Latin, you're going to have to go into the Greek, you're going to have to go into the Hebrew to explain the word Egypt. Period. Or the whole doctrine's off.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah,
the whole doctrine's off.
It ain't talking about us.
It ain't talking about us.
If it ain't talking about bondage,
Exactly.
that word.
Hey, so this is how you understand that they're pretty much lazy minded.
Yeah.
They don't have a sound mind. When they try to break down the rape doctrine, all of a sudden some of these groups want to go into that word, that Hebrew word, the posh, where it says to lay hold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're saying that that's the precept to that is Exodus 22 and 16, where it says to, matter of fact, read it for me.
Gotcha, bro.
Get Exodus 22 and 16. They're trying to say this is the direct precept. You
Exodus.
understand that those are two different scenarios.
Exodus 22 and 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed,
Entice. So when you look up the word entice, it means to basically to seduce,
knock her down.
to mack her down, spit game, run game on her ass, man. Speak her out of her drawers. so to speak.
Flowers, candy.
Yeah, man. That's what that's talking about. So that's already, just off of that word alone, is a cut, because that's not the same scenario as laying hold on a woman. That's totally different. Read it.
22:16. Exodus 22:16.
Uh-huh.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed
Yep.
and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Yep.
If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of the virgins.
That's right, man. And that's the only similarity to the lay hold in Deuteronomy 22 and 28 is because in both scenarios you got to pay the father a dowry for that woman because you're popular.
Yep.
You know, a dowry is basically a price to purchase a wife. The price that a father has for his daughter to sell her off to another man. That's what a dowry is, man. A price. Deuteronomy. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 22 and 28.
Yeah.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed,
Yep.
and lay hold on
Lay
her,
hold on her. It's supposed to say entice. But notice that word ain't there. It's lay hold. So that's a whole different other scenario, man. Go ahead.
and lie with her and be found,
Yep.
then the man that lie with her shall give the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver.
Because that was the dowry.
That was the dowry.
That was
Payment.
the dowry, man. If you take a man's
That's
daughter.
his property.
Exactly. Go ahead.
And she shall be his wife, because he have humbled her.
Yeah, meaning
You already hit it.
the Hebrew word for that is ainah, which means he afflicted her, he humbled her, man.
Yep.
He
Lay
brought
out
her, he
on
brought her down, man. You know? Go ahead.
He may not put her away all his days.
For life, man. That's his wife now.
Gotta keep it.
You know?
He stole it anyway, gotta keep it.
And he didn't do this in an emergency.
No, it wasn't no
This
murder.
wasn't an emergency. You know, he went and got that, took that, and then he went and found the father and paid him off for it, man. Because if that's the case, if this is talking about, no, lay hold means he seduced her, he enticed her.
He held her with the words. Yeah.
Right. Go to Deuteronomy 21 and 19 now. Go to Deuteronomy 21 and 19.
Deuteronomy 21:19. Then shall his father and his mother lay hold of him.
As a matter of fact, go up.
No, you did. I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, go up a verse.
Deuteronomy 21 and 18.
Uh-huh.
If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son,
Yep.
which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother,
And because in the other scenario where it says lay hold, all these other groups keep saying that it's consensual.
gonna mac your son on this, huh?
They say lay hold is consensual. Like, yeah, I agreed, she agreed to it. You know, he seduced her and she agreed to take off the penny so they can
The
so they can
stubborn
lie
son
down.
ain't gonna agree to
but,
this.
But this is a similar situation, but not dealing with having sex. This is a different scenario. Go ahead.
If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son which will not obey the voice of his father
Yep.
or the voice of his mother, and that when he have been chasing him will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold of him,
And his father and his mother lay hold of him. So what does that mean? Does that mean
grab his ass.
they talk nice to him and they talk them into coming out
That's
of the
what
house?
Edomite- it's like-
Come on, baby. I think
That's what
you know,
Edomite
you've been yeah, like an Edomite.
Oh, go sit in the corner. It'll
Yeah.
be all right.
It'll be
Don't
all
do
right.
that.
Little Johnny.
Stop it, little Johnny. Yeah. Yeah, get out of here.
No, I don't
You
think
get time out.
Yeah, time out. That's the word.
because hey, we don't have to go into the
It's
Hebrew
time out, all right.
to cut what y'all saying. We don't even have to go into the Hebrew,
Right.
even though you need to go into the Hebrew, and we do. But this is common sense because this scenario is basically saying that the parents lay hold on that child, man.
Grab his ass.
Just like the man laid hold on that woman
Grab her ass.
in Deuteronomy 22nd
Take
chapter.
by force.
You know? Go ahead.
Then his father and his mother shall lay hands on him and bring him out of the city to the elders.
No, they seduced them to come out and come to the elders. They enticed
Unto
them to
the
come
elders
out.
into the city. And unto the gate of his place.
No, what they really did was
Put your ass
get your ass out. You finna die. You disrespectful. You disobedient. You rebellious. You alright?
And you out of here.
And you out of there, man. You a hardhead nigga, man.
Straight up.
And the elders of the city finna deal with you. And of course, the son, he's rebellious, right? So of course he ain't gonna willfully go with them. He gonna be fighting like
Right.
because he know he about to get judgment. He about to fight against it. He gonna resist his parents grabbing him up and bringing him out to the gates, man. That's common sense.
Right.
Go ahead,
And they shall say unto the elders of the city.
So that proves that the scenario in Deuteronomy 22nd chapter is not consensual.
Uh,
Go ahead.
And they shall say unto the elders of the city, our son is stubborn
Yep.
and rebellious.
Yep.
He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard.
Yep.
And all the men of the city shall stone him with stones, that he die.
And why y'all not crying over this scripture, man? Because like the elders, they've been going into like the nastiness of the scriptures,
Yeah.
all the harsh, filthy, crazy stuff that you hear in the Bible. But y'all got a problem with us pushing out, stuff like that. But y'all talk about the law all the damn time, man.
That's the
All y'all do is
harshest
push.
punishment.
That's
The law
that's,
is where all
that's
the
the
harshest
basis of their whole
punishment is
shit.
at.
Just
Yeah.
pushing, talking about the law. But these are in the law, man. So it's proven that these guys are hypocrites, man.
I just want to say,
Yeah, we Israelites.
I just want to say the punishments of the law was a lot of the most nastiest, meanest
Yeah.
things in the scripture.
Yeah,
That's
we
where
know.
all the harshest things happened at.
Yep.
The punishments of breaking the law.
Yep. Yeah, man. But y'all westernized, man. You got a question?
Come on in, bro. We can't hear you.
So I just had a quick question. I know some Israelites preach that we shouldn't mix with other nations, European nations. I don't understand that. In the Bible, does that where does it say that in the Bible? As far as you don't have to read it, bro.
Oh, but that's the only way we're going to be able to get your answer, bro.
No. The reason I'm saying you don't have to read it is because I study.
Okay.
I can go to the Bible.
But you asking us a
I have
question,
a
though.
Hebrew also. I have a Hebrew inscription
Okay.
that gives me
You just asked
the
us a
actual.
question.
Yeah,
You want the
yeah,
answer.
absolutely.
Okay, we got to get it from here.
Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm saying. If you just give me the verse.
Oh, well, no, we got
Yeah.
this. We got to read this. We got to read because
Okay.
it's not just for you. There's people out there that's listening. And there's another cat out there that got the same question you got.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? What you want to do?
I got
You
so
want to go
much.
to Apocryphal? Oh, you already in it. That's
Yeah,
the one
yeah, I got one.
Before
Yeah.
we went into the law.
Get the one in the law first.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. It says, neither thou make marriages with them, thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly.
Right. And if I may, we're going to explain why also. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to read these and then we're going to further explain. It's going to let it speak and we're going to explain in layman's terms what we believe, about it. Well, basically what it's saying. Somebody want to get that? I'll read it. And somebody want to get it for me, though.
What you want?
8 and 69.
What?
And First Ezra.
Got you. 869?
Yep.
Got you.
Because what that last scripture just said basically was that the reason you don't want to deal with the other nations' women is because they'll turn your heart away from the Most High God, our God, and onto their false idols and gods and stuff.
First Esdras,
Started 69 and 70.
69.
Yep.
The nations of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit.
That right there. They didn't get rid of, because when we're mingled with other nations, it's because we had compassion and blah, 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 blah. But in a sense, it's because we're not putting off their customs. We're taking on some of their customs to make them comfortable of living with
That's
us.
everything you're doing right there.
Right? Instead of living strictly by what the Most High God tells us to live by. And we're giving, because we're compassionate people. So we're like, well, we want the Moabites or the Chinese to live with us and be amongst us. We need Buddha or whoever else.
Yeah,
we need to
they're
practice some of
wicked.
their other stuff,
Which is wicked.
which is wicked, because we're not supposed to do that. Keep reading. And then I'm going to answer fully your question, because I think your question is a little tweak from there.
And the Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollution of the Gentiles. To wit of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, and the Moabites, the Egyptians and Edomites.
Now, basically, those Edomites are the so-called white people. We named a bunch of other nations.
Moabites are Chinese.
Yep,
Egyptians are Africans.
yep.
Edom is the white man.
Canaanites is African.
The Moabites are the Moors.
No, wrong word.
Moors
Wrong
are the
word.
Negroes.
Them is Negroes. The Moors, them Negroes.
The word-
Moabites are Chinese.
The
Moors.
The Moors,
are Negroes.
yes, they were. Well, not called Negroes, but they were the children of Israel, the three tribes that was left over, the southern kingdom of
The
Israel.
wars were so-called black men.
So-called
We
black.
we know. We just giving it to you in layman's terms. The so-called African American man, they were called Negro.
Right.
A lot of
ancient
descendants.
term though.
Yeah, that's an ancient
I know.
term.
Yeah, that's in here too. Did you know Negroes is in here?
Negroes not an
Well,
ancient term though.
I understand
Right.
that, but what I'm trying to say is those same people are the same descendants of the black people that are here today in America.
Right.
You know, but the Moors,
That name
they
is
called
not-
themselves that back then during the Dark Ages.
So how do you determine that you are Israelites and not from Africa or
Okay.
Morocco
Right.
or
Get that in,
Deuteronomy?
Egypt
no,
or
get it in
Ethiopia
Exodus.
or West Africa?
Well-
How do you determine that you are Israelites?
And then some,
Well,
hey,
first, I'm gonna give you the first
get
answer.
8, Romans 8,
Romans 16, but I'm gonna give you the first answer. My first answer is I have faith that I'm an Israelite.
Straight up.
right.
Because
book
all of
tells
the book tells all, and
tells
I see
us.
myself and my ancestors
In this
they
book.
fit the prophecies of this book.
Right.
So that's how I know off top that I'm in fact an Israelite.
Definitely.
Right. So basically you're saying that the so-called Negroes,
Yeah.
which I'm sure your ancestors were, obviously,
Yeah.
that not all of them were Israelites. If they came from Africa, they're not all Israelites.
I'm going to say it like this. If I,
There's still Hamites, which we consider the real Africans in that land. But you had Israelites that lived in Africa. They lived amongst those Canaanite nations, those African nations.
Right. Exodus.
But you had a
11
big
and 7.
portion of Israelites that were among them in Africa. And we understand that most of the Negroes here in America, their ancestors either come from that portion of Africa, which was scattered on the western part of Africa, or Portugal and Spain. Because that was another part of
you talking about the
history
Moors
where
from?
a lot of the slaves
Israelites
came. A lot of the
came
slaves
down into West Africa.
yeah. So a
Because-
lot of the slaves came
Right.
from the first slave ships came from Portugal.
Right.
So
Yeah,
you know
they're
you
the
had
ones that built
Moors
ships first.
that was on the ships and that got brought over here from up there.
But that was the
So
years
not
before
everybody
that.
was from
Right.
Africa.
That was the years before that. The Arabs actually
Yeah, they
enslaved
enslaved
Africa.
Africa.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. That's in there. Yeah.
Right.
That's all in there.
Those were Israelites.
now, what I was going to say, just to answer your first question, because that's good enough. I mean, I want that 70th verse, but basically, what you're saying, we're not supposed to mingle our seed with them. We're supposed to try to keep our blood as pure as possible, but that doesn't mean that we can't have concubines with their women, meaning we can sleep with their women, but we can't when they shouldn't be having their babies.